Good afternoon, everybody. This is Matt and Alecia here with Precision Home Group, and we are coming to you live today to talk to you about the company as a whole. Isn't it right, Alecia?
Yep, that's right.
So what we wanted to do is take a day off from talking about the kind of real estate industry specifics and more about the business and how we plan and intend to scale that out, and really about our team and how we keep people on the same page, how we keep people tied to the vision that we have for the company, and making sure that, first and foremost, Alecia and I, we're on the same page, but we need to do the same for the team, because if we don't,
Right.
what's going to happen?
Not a whole lot.
That's right. We're going to have discourse. We're going to have people thinking the vision is one thing, but fighting against another thing. We may have intentions over here, and they might be going this way.
Right.
So what we have been doing is making sure that we, keep everyone on the same page, tied to the vision of where we are right now and where we want to go.
Right. So we use two things: clarity and communication. We want everyone to be clear on. everyone to be clear on the vision, the idea, the growth, the expansion that we're going through, and we want to communicate exactly what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. We do that through. We have meetings every morning, but on Fridays we go over specifically end up going over expansion in the company. Like, what did we do right? What did we do wrong? Where are our stats at? And what can we do better to move forward?
Exactly. So just a quick synopsis, a snapshot, if you will, of little things that we do throughout the week. You mentioned the daily morning meetings. What are the three things that we go over every morning with everyone on the team?
Yep, we go over wins, targets, and learns. So like, what was one thing that we won at as a company or individually to move that needle forward?
Exactly.
What were your targets for today? Like, what are you trying to accomplish? And that way you're putting intention on the things that you want to get done before the day actually starts.
And then you can have other people keep you accountable to those.
Exactly. So the next day, if I'm like, hey, I want to make 400 phone calls and I only make 2, we're gonna be like, hey, what happened?
Exactly.
And then the last one is learns. We do a lot of training, a lot of education, and a lot of sales training specifically. So we want to hold people accountable to that training, and also make sure that they remember the training that they do.
Yeah.
So we
do
ask them every morning what they learned.
That's right. So we go over the wins, targets, learns daily, and then every Friday we have our morning meeting. Now we have that on Friday because we treat Fridays as our Mondays. We treat that as a reset day where everyone else is getting ready for the weekend, kind of lackadaisical. We're just hitting it hard, and we're ready to take off and push past our competition. So we also do a weekly review of all of our stats that we keep track of all week on Thursday night.
Right.
And that way on Friday morning, we're like, okay, this is what we need to do. This is our targets for the week. This is where we need to go. This is where production needs to be. And this is what we need to do as a company to hit our weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annual goals.
Right. Yeah. So one of our people put it really well today. Andino said that it's like a game play, like it's like a football play.
That's right.
And that we, we have the plan. We have to execute the plan, and then we're good to go. Just keep executing the plan.
Exactly. So that's what we do kind of on a day-to-day and then also a weekly basis. On those Friday mornings, we're talking about those stats, where we need to go, what we need to do. We're talking expansion activities, updates on, hey, this is big picture, further out things that we're looking to do so that the team knows exactly where we're going from here and how we're going to get there. And so making sure that they're a part of that gives them the ability to, one, be on the same page with everybody and really understand what the vision of the company is.
Absolutely.
So what we've also done with that is making sure that we do quarterly reviews. And so we actually went through that today.
Right.
And so with the quarterly reviews, it's not necessarily, you never wait a quarter to actually tell people, hey, this is what you're doing wrong. Let's give you some feedback and do that. That should be daily, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Matt will call people out right away, or he'll make sure that they get that information, like like this paperwork wasn't done, or you should be here on this time, or whatever the thing is. We try our best to call people out, and that way, like, otherwise quarterly reviews would really suck if you're like, oh, when you did this thing wrong on this date, and this thing wrong on this date, and this thing wrong, so
that, and if you wait a whole quarter to correct something, man, your company is going downhill. It's sinking. It's they've already built the habit, so we call things out immediately, help correct, help train, and then people grow from that rather than build up this habit that they have to break. Now, what we do here with the quarterly reviews is, hey, let's reset where we are. Let's look forward. Let's look at where the company is going. Let's analyze where we're at right now, see what our goals are. Are we on track? Are the stats telling us that we are on track? And if not, how do we recorrect? Or how do we increase those goals if we're overshooting what we thought we would be doing?
Yeah, because basically we try to use goals as an anchor to pull ourselves forward.
That's right.
Otherwise, it just feels like you're pushing forward with no reason and no motivation behind it.
Exactly. And so we always try to we keep talking about stats. When we run the company, every single thing that we do is based off a stat.
I personally have like 25 different statistics that I keep track of, and it's a lot. But
exactly.
But otherwise, I don't know. Everything's based off feelings if you don't have numbers. You're like, I feel like I did a good job. I feel like I got a lot done. And then you actually look at it and you're like, oh, I cleaned out my hard drive for 3 hours today. Maybe that wasn't as productive as I thought it was.
Exactly. And so I love that you brought that up because it's not feeling based, it's very logic based.
Yeah.
And so you can put a number to everything and you can track everything. So we have stats for how much social media content is posted.
Yeah.
We have stats for calls made, appointments set, properties pended, contacts added to our database. Articles written, people we've met with, power-based, different types of spheres and networks that we have. You name it, you can put a number to it, and if you can put a number to it, you can track it over time.
Right, and the cool thing with that is that we create transparency and accountability with those.
Exactly.
So everyone can see everyone's stats for the most part. I think everyone can see everyone's stats.
Yep.
And then also, like, if I look at someone's stats and I'm like, hey, you've been down, your statistic has gone down every week for the last month, like, what's going on? So we can really, talk to one another and see what's going wrong.
Exactly.
Where is the missing link in the chain?
That's right. And so with that, I contribute a lot of our expansion, scaling up, and what we've been able to do over the last year, really to keeping track of stats, and then analyzing that, coming up with game plans to either change or keep it growing. And then that's given us the ability to grow and scale.
Absolutely.
So all these different things are tools that we've been talking about today. They're all tools that we use to keep the team on the same page and always making sure that people understand where we're going, what the vision is, where the goal is. Because if you don't have visions, goals, and where you want to go, no one's going to get on board.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so one more thing to add to stats is our teammate Boston Hoffman, he said that you're forced to put your attention on something when you keep a statistic, which is true.
That's true.
So when you have that attention there, you're going to be like, oh, I've been sucking at, whatever it is, going to the gym, making my phone calls, waking up on time. Whatever the thing is, you're forced to put your attention on it, and therefore you confront it and you want to make it better. Exactly.
And if you're looking at that, you're really working against yourself. You're competing against yourself. You're your own biggest competition, and you're working actually towards your potential, right? Because if you're just keeping stats and you're just all over the place, or you're not keeping stats at all, you have no idea where you are or where your production is. But if you're actually attentively seeking your stats and it's growing over time, that is doing better week over week over week, or however long that stat is tracked. Right. And if you're doing that, then you are actually working towards your potential because you're besting yourself. You're your own competition. Right.
There's a business person I follow. She says, when you're bored, you're making money. And what she means by that is like when you're creating that consistency, like every day I'm doing the same 12 things every day and my stats are, they're going up, or I'm doing the same amount of calls every day. That's when you see the results. But when you're in it, you feel very bored. You feel like you're not doing the right things. But if you keep through it, like you end up seeing those numbers at the end of the day.
Exactly. So trust the systems, trust the strategies, watch out for those stats, and make sure your people are on the same page as you, and they have a glimpse of what that vision is. So that wraps it up for today. Did you have anything else you wanted to touch on, Alecia?
You covered it.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining in, for watching. Thank you, Alecia, for joining us again. We're going to start doing this a little bit more often. We've had some things going on. It's been crazy around here recently.
Yep.
But every Friday, we're coming back to you, Matt and Alecia, give you some insight to our relationship, our marriage, our business, and our life. So thanks for joining. I'm going to be back here tomorrow to talk to you guys about real estate again.